Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ladies and gentlemen, we are today with Dr. Hashmi. He has a vast study and his experiences in economy. He has the study of different economic systems, financial systems. Today he is talking about the difference between different systems. So welcome Dr. Hashmi in our session.
Thank you very much for the kind invitation. The economic systems in the world are three. One is the capitalist system. The basis of it is the capital, i.e. whatever seed money one can bring and hope for return in various transactions. There is no consideration whatsoever to any moral consideration and or religious considerations. For example, if you want to open a nightclub in the neighborhood, you can go and they provide you with the money. But if you are a Muslim and or any other faith-based group, which let us say has some reservation on this nightclub project or very many other transactions and activities which are morally questionable, you do not like to go with this because of the set of belief which you have. The same is applicable when we compare the Islamic system of banking with the capitalistic system of banking. And Sharia, legally speaking, is the set of laws. Although many non-Muslim fall in this trap, and when they speak about Sharia, they say Sharia law. There is no need to add the word law after Sharia, because Sharia in Arabic language is a set of laws which are necessary to sustain the life of the human beings. In this context, the Muslim community, just to be specific. We spoke about the capitalist system. It's based on interest. It's based on lending the money. It's based on how much profit you make on the money the investors make. This system is not fair at all. Why? Because if your sister has $1 million to invest, when she takes that money to the bank pays her 1%, 2% interest. The same money taken from your sister, if you enter in the same bank and sign on their paper, the same $1 million is given to you as a loan with a much higher rate. You tell me, in your nucleus family, in this example, who is the loser? For sure, your family is your loser, because there was no arrangement between you and your sister directly, and you brought the bank as a middleman per se. The middleman pocketed the interest, the difference between the loan given to you and the interest given to your sister. For that reason, the Islamic economic system puts prohibition on any interest-based transaction. And the Muslim scholars call the kind of riba, riba al-nasi'a, riba al-ziyada, all these kinds of things are not allowed in Islam. And the thing which the Muslim scholar adopt is more humane, is more considerate to the individuals as individuals, and to the well-being and the welfare of the society. So the bank in an Islamic setting is not exploitive, living on the blood-sucking of the weak members in society. Its role is to render services, and for those services derive some profit just to keep the operation. So the service charge is allowed, and the example of $1,800 loan for a house purchased, 1,500 of it goes interest, 300 goes, let us say, against the principal in the first setting of interest based, comparing to 1,500 goes against the principal, 300 goes to cover the service charges. This is a vivid example which shows how beneficial the Islamic system is, and it is up to the community members to make the second kind of system work in various ways through your efforts, bringing the bankers, bringing the investors, bringing the loan takers together and telling them that this frame is a better frame to work and make it workable than the other one. This may not come overnight, but on the long range, the people have to have a trust in it, and they have to work hard in order to achieve it, because at the end of the day, it brings them benefit without any biases. Because, as I said earlier, they avoid the immoral acts. They don't deal with alcohol or pornography or nightclubs or anything. Nobody would like to see his $1 million example invested goes toward things which bring no benefit to society. Always we need that this money we are putting is bringing some benefit. And the third system, which was a total failure, that was the the communist system, which, you know, even the biggest countries such as USSR couldn't sustain itself, because things went against the nature of things. Because you cannot come and put curtail on the personal liberty and say that we have socialism. Whatever we have is for everybody, and you pay the engineer the same payment as you pay the worker. That system cannot work at all, and it was an absolute failure. And I met some university professors from Russia in late 80s who came and took part in a conference here in University of Toronto with me. They told me the salary of a professor in late 1980s in Russia was only $300 equivalent, which a worker make more in nearby capitalistic societies. The bottom line is the half a century or a little more ago, there were two systems, capitalistic and communistic. The communism demised and went, and now the emerging power is the capitalist, but the Muslim thinkers foresee that this system will be destined like its sister, and the only system which survives is the one which has a human consideration, which focuses on the interest of the people, immaterial if they belong to the have of the society or have nots. Interest-free system is not a charity because the investors are getting, it's a profit-sharing system. They get some return, but that return is not fixed such as the one in the capitalistic system. The moment you fix the return, it becomes like usury. Islam tells you no. But if you enter in an economic contract, they call it mudaraba in fiqhi term, in theologic term, that type of transaction is absolutely permissible because it brings benefit to everybody, the investors as well as the loan taker. But the loan taker is not under the mercy of a senseless capitalist who understands nothing and who sends the sheriff at the door of the homeowner if the homeowner cannot pay rent for cannot pay mortgage for 3 consecutive months. He is not the owner anymore. The bank is the owner. But in the Islamic system, the situation is different. A home buyer can do it with the bank in the form of rent to own, for example. The installments paid, they go good portion of it against the principal to bring the loan to zero for the services of the bank. And the bank here is not as exploitive as in the capitalist usury-based system. I hope through these illustrations I highlighted the 3 economic systems in the world, mainly capitalism and communism at extreme and Islamic system in the middle, and I have shown how the communist system demised and the capitalist system is in the way of demise, with one system will prevail in the world, and that is the Islamic system, because of its human consideration. It is not exploitive. It has something for everybody in it. It's not only for the rich to get richer and the poor to get poorer, and the gap would be unbridgeable at the end of the day. As you can see nowadays, there is no middle class in many capitalistic societies. This is something which I'm sure all the government officers would like to address, and I hope through this message I am addressing the heart of the matter. If the government wants to be contributing in this process, they have to come and adopt such a humane system, immaterial, whether we call it Islamic or non-Islamic. It is the essence we are working on, because we are trying to reach out to people of any denomination, any faith. We are addressing the human needs. We don't want these banks to go and build more high-rises in the downtown of New York and Chicago and Toronto. We are hoping to benefit the ordinary human being by promoting the most pragmatic, the most effective economic system they could find in the world. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين وسبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.